Skip it up and that up. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Rich of Review Tech USA, and this is exactly what you don't want your picture to be on a dating website. So another nasty statement from a developer about the Wii U hardware. And they're gonna keep coming and coming and coming until the damn system is released. And then if it sells a shit ton, all these people who are naysayers, all these developers who are talking a bunch of crap, will shut their mouths real quick, mark my words. But anyway, let's continue on with the story. So ex-Darksiders 2 senior UI designer Xander Davis has spoken to Not Enough Shaders, haven't heard of them before, about working with THQ on Darksiders 2 and what he thinks of Nintendo's upcoming Wii U console. Now I'm going to read you verbatim his statements here, so I'm not just plagiarizing, I'm just repeating it because this is what he said, and I want to recite it word for word so his statement doesn't get misconstrued in this video. Okay, kids, you ready? It's a doozy. Here we go. And I quote, "I've not worked on any Wii U version of anything, luckily. But you know, I very early on raised my major concern about this. Anybody buying any Wii U game that's a port is probably buying it almost exclusively and specifically for how it can play differently through the Wii U's alleged innovated UI. I'm already a known skeptic on whether the interface paradigm is at all anything but idiotic, but if you're going to do it, fine. Then you have to do it right. You have to innovate on the UI. You have to enhance game mechanics and gameplay in a material way that justifies all the hassle of a $400 Xbox 360 7 years late." He continues on, "I can't comment on THQ Vigil specifically. However, just in general, I doubt any studio or publisher is truly giving it the kind of proper UI design and thinking it deserves. Hell, apparently this is a huge leap for regular AAA console releases. From what I'm hearing from people who have actually played a Wii U as recently as a month ago, the games pretty much suck, and the tablet is pretty much a complete gimmick. Maybe publishers can pull off something clever, but won't it just kind of be clever for a little bit, then not really worth your $60? And just annoying afterwards? Kinect comes to mind. PlayStation Move comes to mind. Motherfucking Wii comes to mind. But sure, we'll have to wait and see. I can't comment on specifics, I can only speculate. But as a UI designer applying experienced critical thinking to game mechanics UI and the Wii U tablet, none of it makes sense to me to truly add value to gamers even if you try." And end quote. There's a link in the description to the article below. You'll see right there that was all him talking, not me. Don't shoot the messenger. The first thing I'll say is this seems to happen every single generation. With the original Wii, remember how much negative press that was getting? Everyone thought it was going to be a disaster. And yeah, granted, its third-party support was limited, but it outsold the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now on to this guy. You know what it sounds like to me? And look, I'm a very neutral dude when it comes to reporting the news. If I have an opinion, even if I like a company more than another company, if that company does something dumb, I will call them out on it, no problem, I don't care. And usually I try not to bring emotions into it, but I'm trying to think where this guy was coming from. He went through hell working on Darksiders 2. I know people over at THQ got laid off. I know there was a bunch of issues with the game. They were probably stressed out to begin with, and then there's this fledgling console coming out that you know is not going to have a big install base, and it was probably a waste of time to them. They were probably pissed off and jaded at that point, and they were like, why am I working on Darksiders 2 for the Wii U, this brand new console that has no install base yet? It's a waste of time, and they were probably so frustrated that it just seemed like a worthless task to them. So this dude was just probably looking to vent. Maybe he was pissed off at Nintendo. Maybe Nintendo gave him a crappy development kit. Or maybe he was just pissed off at THQ and wanted to sling some mud on the Wii U port of the game just to get them annoyed. And two other points I wanted to make to you. The first one about the Wii U just being as powerful as the Xbox 360 7 years late. That rumor needs to go away. I'm going to use a YouTuber as an example. Dream308, or whatever his name is now. I'll have a link to his video in the description if I remember. He has negative interest in the Wii U. He's not a fanboy of the company. He could care less if the Wii U is never released. Even he says there's no logical way that the Wii U console, a console coming out in 2012, can be as powerful or less powerful than consoles made 7 years ago. He does not want to get the system, but he's like, just think logically. Just newer technology, newer CPU, newer GPU, herp derp. It's not going to be weaker than the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It's not going to be in the same level as them. It's going to be more powerful. How much more still needs to be decided, but it's going to be more powerful. Get over it. Stop with that rumor. And the second thing about the Wii U tablet controller just being a gimmick, let me use Max Payne 3 as an example. You know, I have 2 handguns and I have the shotgun. And if I need to get a long-distance shot off, I need to quickly switch over to one of the handguns. Now, with the 360 controller, you have to hold the left bumper to do that, and it's really clumsy. If I had that Wii U tablet controller, I could look down for a nanosecond, tap the gun I want, and boom! Much easier interface to change guns in Max Payne 3. How is it a gimmick? How is it just something that's a joke? Being able to play the game on the Wii U tablet screen so someone could watch TV? That to me is brilliant. And honestly, I think the Wii U tablet controller is much less of a gimmick than the motion controls of the original Wii. The bottom line is, I think this guy was just pissed off at his employer. He was pissed off at Nintendo because he had to make a game for a new console and he had to deal with new architecture and new hardware, and he just needed to vent. I really think that's all it is. Or maybe he wanted to get back at Nintendo or THQ and throw some mud at them to sully their name, which won't work because, like I said, this happens every damn generation. And you guys know, if I agreed with what this guy said in the article about the Wii U, I would tell you. I have no problem saying how I feel. But I really do feel he was pissed and talking out of his ass. So do you feel that the Wii U tablet is going to be a gimmick and that the Wii U console itself is just going to be on par with current generation consoles? Or are you in the same boat as me and feel that this UI developer was speaking out of anger? Make sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe. And if you have an interesting news story you would like me to discuss, private message me with a link via YouTube. And if I use your article, I will give you a shout out in the video and feature your YouTube channel in the description.